Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'm one of the CSMs here at Concord. And today we are going to talk about approvals. So, before we jump into how to create them and apply them, what are approvals? And the best way to think of them is the final sign off or the final okay of a document or contract before it's ready to be signed. Everyone who is participating in this document or contract has agreed that this is the final version, and we are ready to have this sent over for signatures to collect and be finalized. What this is replacing is the manual task of needing to get a document and send it over via email to a person or several people to be approved, and then go to upload it and then collect signatures. You basically have the ability to build out these approval workflows within Concord, apply them to your documents, collect signatures all in the same tool. How do we create approval workflows? So what we can do, and there are a couple options, we are going to navigate to automations, and we're going to go to the approval tab here. This is a library of approval workflows that I have created in the past in my demo account. And to create a new one, we're going to come up here to add new approval. We are going to give this approval a name. And then we're going to give it a description. And basically what we want to do here is tell someone or any of our users why we would ever need to use this approval. So very simple, background check approval must be used for all background checks. So then I can come in here, and whether I have multiple steps, just one step, doesn't matter. I can come here to step one, and if I click on this little shadow icon, it's going to pull up my list of teams and then individual users. And so I get two options here. One, let's say it's my HR team first that needs to make the first approval. I can assign them to the first step. Now, you will notice here it says only one member of each team has to approve. So if I had 5 people on my HR team, they would all have the option to come in here and approve this. And really, it would be a whoever can get in here first and do this can approve it, and then it can move on to the next step or move on to signatures from there. Now, I can also add additional steps, and let's say it's someone from the HR team and then the CEO of my demo account, which happens to be myself. So anyone from our HR team can approve, and then I myself have to approve. I can add as many steps as I need to. And once I am ready to go with my approval workflow, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click Save. So now we have that here, background check approval. And you'll notice here in this library, we get the name of the approval, the description, and it does list out the steps. And if you hover over any teams that are noted, it will show who is on those teams. Now, where and how do I apply these approvals? So we have a couple options here. I'm going to go back to my inbox, and I'm going to navigate to my templates because this is the first great place that I can apply these approval workflows. I'm going to open up my background check template. And what I can do with that approval workflow is I can apply it to the template here. And what that means is anytime somebody now goes to use this template, this workflow is automatically built into it. So every draft that is made off of this template, the approval workflow I have created, will automatically be inherited by those drafts. When I'm coming here to select the approval I want to apply, you will notice it's going to give me that same list from that approvals tab that showed the library of all of the approval workflows I have created. And if for any reason I forget who's a part of these workflow processes, I can click this little caret and it's going to show me the steps and whether it's a team or an individual user. So once I select the approval I would like to use on this template, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now you'll notice here that first step of the HR team is there. So just to give an example of what it does at the template level, I'm going to go ahead and hit start draft. And now I have an exact draft of that template that I just created that I can now use and send out for signature. But if I open up this approval tab, this draft inherited that approval workflow. So again, really great way to make sure that we don't miss any approvals. We can apply them to our templates and they will be inherited by all of the drafts. Now, the other option I have for approvals is I can apply them on a one-off basis. So if I come here and I open up a draft document, and I navigate to the approvals tab. This one does not currently have one, so I can come here and I can again just get this same list and apply one of these approvals as necessary. But in the event that a standard company approval is not fitting for this document, you do have the ability to build approval workflows on a one-off basis at the document level. And to do so, instead of selecting one of these company approvals, I would instead click custom approval. And then I'm going to set this up the same way I did from that approvals tab, where I'm going to add a step. I can decide whether it's mandatory or conditional. And then I'm going to go ahead and get approval from, and it's going to be that same module of allowing me to select my teams. So let's say this document needs to be finance, and then someone from our legal team needs to approve it as well. I can again just build out a custom workflow for this one specific document, hit save, and now that approval is applied to this document, and it's just specific to this document. Now, whether you're doing it on a template or a one-off document, once you have the approval applied to the document, the only next step you need to take is once you're ready to trigger that approval workflow, you're going to hit the request button and it's going to send that first request. So in this case, it is going to send a request to my finance team. So all members of my finance team are going to be notified that there is a document waiting for approval. And again, whoever can get in there first can go ahead and approve it. So then it can move on to the next step, in this case, of someone from our legal team approving the document. One thing to note with approvals are that once the document is approved, we do need to currently manually go back and request signature. And once we do that, the document will kick into signing. So if we do need to make any changes, or also if the document is approved and somebody decides to go back and make changes, it will re-trigger that workflow as well, because the idea here is that it is the final sign off that it's ready to go before signature. So if any changes are made, we want to make sure that everyone is approving of those changes before we go ahead and send it off for signature. If you have any other questions or would like to dive deeper into this, feel free to reach out to your CSM directly. You can also reach out to us at support@concord.app, or you can navigate to our website, and at the bottom you will find the Help Center, which will have a ton of help documentation on how to do various things within Concord. Thank you.